Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Las Vegas Advisor Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. Today is Friday the 13th.
2023.
2023, that's right.
Are we worried about the date?
I am not worried about the date. Are you?
No, I don't even think about it.
You are not superstitious at all.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And, really, a lot of gamblers are.
Yeah.
They think this is bad. But, if you're professional about it, you don't worry about things like that. It's all about the numbers. And 13 is just a number.
13 is just a number. I will say I am a little superstitious when it comes to hitting those 5 spots in Keno.
I know that. I should play a 13 spot tomorrow.
Oh.
That'll come in.
So the big news in Vegas this week is that G2E, the gaming convention, the Global Gaming Expo, is in town.
The show from hell.
Yeah. You didn't attend.
That is, I don't attend anymore.
Yeah.
That is the cock blocker of work. It just is. And, I used to go, and I just don't go at all. But you went. I
love it. I go every year, and I went the last 2 days. It was great, and there were certainly some notable games.
So, what'd you like? What'd you see?
I
should interject. I do like what comes out of it. Mm-hmm. I do like hearing about it. I do like reading about what's going, what they're working on. So, with that said, I just don't like walking around and shaking everybody's hand for no reason.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, what'd you like?
Okay. So, first of all, there was a very notable craps table at Interblock, which I think is one of the coolest, companies around right now.
Are you into craps?
I do. I love craps.
Anybody who would listen to the ending song would know that, right? At the end of our video here.
That's right.
At the end of the show. So yeah, I'll tell you what I heard, what I read about that I thought was cool. Supposedly a machine that is going to combine video poker and sports betting.
That sounds cool. I missed that one. I didn't see it.
It's coming from IGT. They're calling it the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of slots.
Okay.
All right, because you're putting the two together, I guess. And supposedly, while you're playing video poker, you've got your credits on the screen. You're going to be served certain, in-game wagers that will come right off of your credit meter.
That sounds cool.
Pile it on, boys. Pile it on. Give us some more to do, right? All of that. I don't know if I like it. I just think it's interesting.
Maybe put a parlay option in there.
Well, I say concentrate on one or the other. Do we really need both? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. Also interesting, something from you just mentioned Interblock.
Yep.
They've got something called Smart Pit, where they are going to, it's sort of like Stadium, if you've ever seen the Stadium setups,
yep,
where everybody sits there and they play with one dealer. Well, this is going to hook up apparently to the live games. So the dealers will be out there playing. Maybe they got a full table and you can cut in and play from the outside. I don't know how they're going to do that, but it's a big deal. They're talking about it. It seems like it could come to happen.
Well, it seems like Interblock's really setting the bar for that stadium seating, for that luxury gaming.
Interblock's going to the next level of taking the live games to mechanized, with the live game feel. Mm-hmm. And the stadium gambling is catching on slowly but surely. So there could be something here. And the third thing that caught my interest was another coin pushing slot.
Oh yeah, I saw those.
Yeah,
I
remember
did see
Flip
those.
It?
Yeah.
Flip It. You don't see Flip It anymore out there. There's just almost never there. You see them in the arcades and stuff. But supposedly there's another one of those coming.
That is really cool. Yeah, you see them at like Dave and Buster's.
Yeah. Exactly.
The other thing I wanted to mention was the NFL slots.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool by Aristocrat. So, for a long time, I don't think NFL wanted to license anything that had to do with gambling, gaming, right, things like that.
Well, now they're all in, right? With everything they can. But I have seen that. When we go play at the Downtown Grand, they've got a couple of them there.
That's right.
People are playing them.
Yeah.
So good for the NFL. Make more money.
Yeah, and they were showcased, heavily at G2E.
Yeah, the cock blocker of work.
Well, here's something interesting. As you may know, TUPAC Shakur was murdered here in Las Vegas in 1996, mm-hmm, and the case has been reopened.
Yeah, it's big surprise. This has been, there's a tie-in. We're going to talk about this, but first the case. Apparently, some guy named Dwayne Davis, I guess he went by Keefy D or something like that in the rap world, has been arrested. Mm-hmm. He lived in Henderson. They went to his Henderson house. They arrested him in conjunction with the killing.
Wow.
Apparently, he was in the car. with the person that most people say did it, Orlando Anderson, which was his nephew.
Okay.
And now they're talking about he was either the mastermind behind it, or he may have even pulled the trigger, but he was at least an accomplice to the whole thing.
Now, this case was nearly 30 years old. What happened?
Well, here's the thing. The connection to us is we did the book, The Killing of TUPAC Shakur.
That's right. We've talked about it on the show.
Yeah, this was, one of the books that literally put us on the map. What happened was there was a beat reporter in Vegas named Kathy Scott.
Okay.
And Kathy she covered hip hop and music and things like that and other things, actually crime. And she just happened to be very close to the scene when they were shot. TUPAC was with Suge Knight. And they were in front of MGM Grand at the time, which is now the Horseshoe Las Vegas. And she was right there on the scene and came to us like 3 days afterwards and said, I've got all the goods on this. Do you guys want to do a book? And we looked at what she had, and we'll get to that in a minute, what she did have. And we said, yeah, let's do it. We were just a up and starting company. And we got this thing out in about maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And we printed 25,000 copies, which for us is ridiculous. 25,000 copies. Up till then, the most we'd ever done is maybe 2,500.
Okay.
And I'll be darned if in 1 week after we got it out, it was held up on MTV, and we sold through that 25,000. But here is the thing. It's a really good book, man. I mean, it's really good. It goes into all the hip hop culture, the Crips versus the Bloods, lots of detail about Tupac's life. But there's a chapter at the end called Dead or Alive.
Okay.
And, there's a lot of this urban myth that, Tupac was never dead.
That's correct.
Well, here's the thing. Kathy snuck into the back room, the autopsy room, and Tupac was dead on a gurney, and she shot a Polaroid, back then. She didn't have a cell phone, She just shot a Polaroid of Tupac, and it was her photo, and she got out with it without them, taking it from her, and she brought that photo to the game, and we've got that photo, So in the Dead or Alive chapter in Tupac, we say he's dead, and here he is, and this is the proof. And nobody else has that photo except for that book. So it wasn't just that photo, though, because, again, we were like young and ambitious company. We went crazy. We rented the photos in this book are great. We bought all of the best photos. They were really expensive. And we rented a helicopter, and we set our own production manager up in a helicopter to shoot the crime scene from up above.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think we've ever done anything like this.
Yeah.
We hadn't in before or since, but we really went after this one. It's a cool book.
There were no drones around. You had to get a helicopter.
Yeah, he went up in a helicopter.
Yeah,
so
wild.
It's a really good book. It's a really good read, and we'll see what happens. This guy, apparently started talking about it. He was off the hook for all these years, and he started talking about it and doing interviews saying I had something to do with it. And then he wrote a book and said the same thing. So now he's in jail. Good for
All
him.
right.
Smart.
Really? Yeah.
But it's big news around here. We'll see what happens.
Now, Chinatown in Las Vegas is a fantastic place to go get some great food. But what's going on with ZIPPY'S?
ZIPPY'S is open.
ZIPPY'S?
Are you excited?
Sure.
People are, man. ZIPPY'S. All right, ZIPPY'S is Hawaiian fast food place.
Okay.
And apparently it is the biggest thing, on the islands. And the first ZIPPY'S out of Hawaii has opened in Vegas.
Okay.
Up in the Southwest. I think we've got the address on the screen. And it is a phenomenon. It's kind of like when everybody rushed to Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Sure.
When they came here, and In-N-Out Burger. Well, they're doing the same thing with ZIPPY'S.
Okay.
And apparently there were 200 people in line, or they waited for 2 to 4 hours or something to get in.
Yikes.
And it's it's Hawaiian food, which is teriyaki and chili over rice and
Poke?
Spam, this and that. I don't think they have poke.
Oh, really?
You know?
Okay.
And I mean, because for me, I'm not crazy about the Hawaiian cuisine.
Okay.
I'll eat it. Put it in front of me, I'll eat it for sure, but it's not one of my favorites because it's a little bit sweet for me and all. But what I really do like is, it's funny you bring that up, is the poke. I do like, and I don't think they have that here because this is, like a fast food joint.
I just assumed ZIPPY'S would have poke because it was Hawaiian.
Yeah, well, you know what? When, they probably got the Hawaiian breakfast and all of that, which is Portuguese sausage and eggs and rice and all of that. But poke, all right? So I was working, when I first came to Vegas, I was working at a bar as a bouncer, I was a bouncer at a bar. And there were a couple Hawaiian girls there, and they introduced me to Hawaiian poke.
Right.
And it is like, to me, it's the greatest. You know, it's raw fish made with seaweed, the way they do it there, authentic stuff. And I don't think you're going to get that at ZIPPY'S, but I'll tell you where you can get it. There's a place or something close enough. It's called Hawaiian Style Poke.
Okay.
All right. It's at 3524 Wynn Road, which is right there in Chinatown.
All right. So, Anthony, what's going on this week with the Survivor contest at CIRCA?
Yeah, actually something of note happened. It was another eventful week. 547 players are out of the contest. That's 23%. 412 of those were on the Washington Commanders.
Oh, wow.
68 were on the Baltimore Ravens. So we've got 1,836 remaining. There's still a lot of people in the contest.
Okay. Still a lot of people, but 500, that's a lot to get knocked out.
It's 23%. I mean, if they keep going down to 23%, this thing's going to be over well before the end of the season, probably. Yeah. So we'll fill you in next week.
And in this week's question of the week, everybody knows there's a lot of traffic and stuff going on in Las Vegas, a lot of construction leading up to Formula One, which is going to be November 18th. The question of the week says, I am heading out to the Strip next weekend. Can I still walk from Ellis Island to the Horseshoe?
Well, that's an easy one.
Yep.
You just answered it. Yep.
Yep, you sure can.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. You can walk around most places. You know, I mean, the strangest one I've heard, I think we might have brought this up last week, is that they're routing some people through the Bellagio when they're walking on the Strip past Bellagio. At least they were doing that because they're putting up the grandstands there. But for the most part, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the sidewalks. You got to walk around things sometimes. But yeah, you can walk all over town.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather walk than drive.
Definitely.
But, yeah, and that walk from Ellis Island, you know, back up to the Strip, you know, when you say to the Horseshoe, they're talking about going back up to the Horseshoe Las Vegas on the Strip. And that's an absolute yes on that one.
Sure. And it's really not even that far. I mean, it may be, you're walking from Las Vegas Boulevard to Koval on Flamingo. So you're passing the stage door, you're passing Horseshoe.
Maybe you shouldn't pass the stage door. Maybe you should walk in and get a $1 beer.
That's right. That's probably what we'd do.
Yeah. Well, of course we would.
Yeah.
You know, there's no doubt. Stage door, man. Top 10 in the Las Vegas Advisor. $1 beer.
That's right. And then you can hit it right on the way to Ellis Island.
Yep.
And
get the steak.
Yeah, and get your $9.99
steak dinner, number
top
one.
Sirloin steak. So jackpot of the week. How could it not be Powerball? But it's not.
Right. It's not. Powerball, $1.7 billion. Wow. Everybody's heard about it. We all know that's second largest of all time.
That's right.
But we've got a cooler story.
Definitely. We thought this one was really cool. So this week's Jackpot of the Week comes to us from the Plaza Casino downtown near Fremont Street. Pam from Massachusetts won $50,000 today at the Plaza Casino and Hotel Super Bingo Tournament. While the win is obviously great, what makes the win even more spectacular is that it comes exactly 1 year from the day that Pam suffered a heart attack while attending last year's October Super Bingo event at the Plaza. She has played Super Bingo at the Plaza for the past 4 years, attending typically 2 tournaments a year. But last year, her bingo playing abruptly ended when she was admitted to the Valley Hospital for a heart attack. Thankfully, she is fully recovered and came back this year, and today not only celebrates her 1 year recovery from the heart attack, but it is also a $50,000 bingo jackpot.
Wow. Congratulations on all of it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess bingo's stressful.
Definitely.
I don't know when you're playing for the money. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she had a heart attack playing it, got better and came back after the heart attack and won it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. How can that not be jackpot of the week? It's just got to be.
Well, they say it's all about how you get back up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just talking about it, you know, there's first of all the only bingo room downtown. You know, bingo used to be everywhere, but the only downtown bingo room is at the Plaza. Mm-hmm. You don't find bingo tournaments hardly anywhere, but the Plaza runs about 9 or 10 of them a year. Mm-hmm. They're 3-day events. They're attended by like up to 1,000 people, I hear. And I guess this is really something. So out of all those people, after what happened to her last year, she comes back and wins the whole thing.
Way to go, Pam.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
One thing, the next one will be November 27th through 29th.
Okay.
And if you are a local Las Vegan, you get a BOGO, buy one, get one. So you buy in once and you bring a friend.
Okay, so that sounds great for couples or buddies or whatever. That sounds cool.
So next week we'll get back, unless something crazy happens again, we'll get back to your jackpots, which are always kind of more fun to look at and analyze.
That's right. And that's it for this week's episode. Anthony, do you have anything to add?
Only again to mark your calendars for November 2nd.
That's right.
That's gonna be our next live. It's going to be Beer Friday on Thursday.
Okay.
November 2nd is on a Thursday, and the reason we're doing it Beer Thursday is because we're going to do it first time on location. We're going to do it at the Downtown Grand right before their blackjack tournament.
All right, so November 2nd, Thursday, that will be our next live stream from the Downtown Grand.
Yep. Meanwhile, that's it.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Well, I'm going to